Hey YouTube, Jolly Green 1990 here with my live reaction and review of Chapter 72 for Record of Ragnarok, titled Humanity's Progress. So, by the looks of the first page, we're getting a little backstory of Nikola Tesla. So, 1856 to 1943. January 7th, 1943, Nikola Tesla died. 9 months later, on October 28th, the top secret experiment was conducted based on Tesla's latest research, the Philadelphia experiment. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Alberta station ship had been equipped with powerful Tesla coils for decades. Described as an experiment to try to recreate a high-level pressure in the hull, attempt to make the ship invisible to radars. But the moment they flipped the switch, something terrible happened. The ultrasonic magnet field was more than they expected. The giant ship had not only disappeared from radars, but also the naked eye in the next moment off the coast of Norfolk. The ship had appeared off the coast of Norfolk about 363 kilometers away. A stealth experiment. That's BS. The real experiment was something else entirely. Second Lieutenant. Didn't believe it. What I saw with my eyes. It was instantaneous movement. The Philadelphia project, the instantaneous transfer experiment, seemed to be a success, but the bridge was turned into a living hell. Extraordinary situation resulting in the disappearance or death of 13 soldiers and scientists and 6 people who went insane. The Navy High Command was said to have buried the research itself in the meantime. Was Nikola Tesla's last study truly a failure? No. Tesla had reached instantaneous movement. So I like that we got a little backstory with this, and now we're actually getting to see him truly use it in his fight against Beelzebub. Boom. Teleports, hits him. You still got the Tesla cage, as I'm going to call it. Beelzebub goes flying. Huh. Oh my, you call this science you just when Tesla seemed to disappear for a moment. Beelzebub was struck in his blind spot by a PPP. You got a tattoo that's showing back. I have a feeling it might be important. What the? Was that tremendous speed? I didn't see Tesla move at all. I didn't think he moved. Oh, he definitely disappeared. You have the swordsman talking. Disappeared? What does that mean, Hermes? I don't quite understand either. But I think he's already figured out. I see. Instantaneous movement. Well, I call it Tesla warp. Nice. How cool is that? And then you get a little halo on a circle on his back. And all the scientists are like, Tesla warp has 3 restrictions. Here we go. I like that he analyzed it, right? Number 1, you need some time to build up energy for activation. Right after the last stack, if you had activated again, moved in my blind spot and come to finish me off, you could have killed me. But you didn't attack me and kept your distance. Well, 2, your movement is limited. Before you activated the instantaneous movement, that Tesla step, there was something wrong with the way you did it. That seemingly futile flurry of movement. Perhaps there was another purpose. It was to lead me, triggered here, instantaneous move to a place where you could move. So he was guiding him. That attack and defense was actually a guided attack. He can't possibly have done that. Sure is a crafty one. And 3, the number of times you activate it is limited. As we see the equipment go. Great answer. That's a great insight, says Tesla. Let me explain a little more in detail. First of all, the basic premise of the Tesla warp can only be done inside this gematria zone. It is not possible to fly outside the zone. It's just too dangerous. At the point where you can move, I need to increase the concentration of super Tesla particles. And that's why I've been swinging so hard, you know. When you swing an electrified bunch, the particles are attracted to the right, says Beelzebub. Yes, says Tesla. Feels good to get the answer I want. As I attacked, I was creating points of high particle concentration all over the place, invisible to the eye. And once you've decided where you're going, synchronize Tesla particles at that location with the super Tesla coil, and off you go. The only drawback is it takes about 63 seconds to synchronize, so a little over a minute. Why don't you just tell him your weak point? Alcyon said. What's more, 1 super Tesla coil is consumed per warp, from which he is telling him his weakness. As you surmise, there's a limit to the number of times you can use it. That means I can only use it 2 more times. 2 more times. Well, if you use it more than that, well, I think Gondel, the material, the armor suit, will be destroyed, and since he shares a soul with her, Tesla will as well. I like to explain that. Sister Gondel, you think you can afford this? You're telling me what you're capable of. For science! Withholding information is a detriment to science. Sharing your newfound wisdom without reserve. Science, no, humanity has progressed. Zima smiles. You're so chatty. Humans are such interesting creatures. Blah, blah, as he coughs up blood. The damage to Bazibo, it's a lot deeper than it may seem. This pain, I haven't felt this pain since then. Hades Castle and Helheim. I don't think just anyone can wander into the king's chamber. So what do you want, Lord of the Flies? Beelzebub, you're Hades? I have a favor to ask, Hades. Listen, I've heard rumors about a daredevil fallen from heaven, fighting against my forces. You must be the mad demon at Helheim. If you know that, then there's no need to talk. In such a state of disarray, you dare to challenge me? Do you want to die? Yes, kill me. What a pain in the butt. Very well. We see Hades, when he's still alive, take off his eye patch. My name is Hades, Lord of the Helheim. I accept your challenge, Lord of the Flies. Chapter end. Rather short, I thought. We know Hades died previous match, but it's nice to kind of see, my opinion, the interaction between Hades and Beelzebub. I did like this chapter a lot because we got to kind of hear, we got to see a side of Beelzebub maybe we didn't know existed, was he was analyzing the attack. And then we got to see a little foreshadow going back essentially with how the attack, the warp, was created. And I thought I liked that. I liked the history of that. As many of you know, I'm a teacher. I have a degree in history, and so I love that aspect of it. The instantaneous movements. And so then we see him use it because he was like, 3 mistakes. Tesla him discuss it. He's like, yeah. And then he coughs up blood. He's like, I haven't felt this pain in a while. And then they show the Hades. So I'm excited and curious to see what that's going to look like. So this chapter, to me, based on the fact that we had lore, we had history, we had a little action, we had character development. So I honestly like this chapter a lot. Shorter than I thought, but that's okay. I would give it a 10. That's just me. Looking back, someone can always wish they had more in this chapter. For me, there was enough in this chapter. They explained everything kind of going along. They had the audience kind of interacting, and then they kind of shift to ghosts. Because with that, we have, so YouTube Watch always breaks stuff into parts. So for this, it's like the pacing. So let's go story, pacing, story, character. So we've got 1, 2, 3 for me. 3 major parts because you've got the flashback, everything kind of related to that. You've got the fight with Beelzebub and Tesla, and then you've got the Hades and Beelzebub flashback. So 3 parts, good, but I thought the flashback with the history, with the discussion, taking this movie, maybe kind of stretched that a little. So I would say, let's give it, we're doing total out of 15 points. I would say a 5 out of 5 for that. Or a 4 out of 5 for that. There's still a little more of that. I would say story, 5 out of 5. Character, I would say 4.5. So we're looking at an 18.5. Because essentially take off point, half, so 13.5. So 13.5 out of 15. If you want me to change my scoring, let me know as well. Comments. These were my thoughts on the initial chapter. I mean, as we only get this one once per month, there's not a lot of time to really dive into it. We have a lot of time to dive into it. And so next chapter I might have more to say, but for me, these are my thoughts on chapter 72, Record of Ragnarok, Humanity's Progress. This is Joe Green, 1990, signing off by YouTube.